This past weekend, I was strolling through the aisles of Costco with my wife. Of course, we're just picking up way more than we actually need, spending a ton of money, but I was chowing down on my $1.50 Costco glizzy, sipping on a soda, of course, and I ran across this. This is Adam's 12-piece ultimate detailing kit, now sold at Costco, at least for the time being. And this retails right at $49.99, so I decided, hey, let's pick one of these up for a video, do a little unboxing here, see all the products that it comes with, tell you my opinions on some of these products as a professional detailer, because Adams has always been a great approachable brand, especially for folks getting into detailing or that just are kind of weekend warriors and like to have just good overall products that work. So let's do an unboxing of this and see if it's truly worth your money. Welcome back to the channel. Let's jump into it. Well, I've done the math for you guys on this, which is quite shocking because I was absolutely terrible at math in high school. Thank goodness calculators exist. But I went over to adamspolishes.com, put in basically all the 12 components that come in this ultimate detailing kit from them, which retails at $142. So you're essentially saving 65% off here, spending only $49.99 on this entire kit. Now, within this, again, I think Adams is a great brand and a very approachable brand, and often for a lot of detailing customers that I have here that come to the shop to get their car detailed, they always are asking for what kind of product should I just use to kind of clean and maintain it. And one of my easiest suggestions is always Adams. They produce very high quality chemicals and that I think are very approachable for DIY enthusiasts. I don't necessarily think every single one of their products are aimed for professionals like myself, but just a good overall brand for those DIY, clean up your vehicle enthusiasts and work on your car over the weekend. So let's get into the bucket. Let's talk about the 5 different chemicals as well as the accessories that come with this to figure out if this is something you should pick up at your next Costco run. All right, so let's pop the lid off here on this bucket. Now, okay, it's a little aggressive, but we got it inside of here. Boom. So you pop this open, and actually pretty darn nice here. So you can see we've got all of our sprayers that we need. Always very nice to have. Also, Adams does actually a pretty great job on their sprayers. I think they're pretty darn decent here. So let's pull this. Don't need that. Wow, very nicely packaged inside of here. Kind of expected it to not be individually packaged. So let's get all of this out here. You can see we've actually got quite a multitude of products in here. Boom, just keeps coming. I guess it is a full 12-piece kit here. So we'll start off here going through the chemicals, starting off with Adam's Car Shampoo. And this is honestly a great overall shampoo. This is pH neutral, so this is something you can also use in your bucket paired with your wash mitt. We'll get into the accessories in a minute. You can also toss this into a foam cannon. And gotta say, this has been a great overall product for many, many years. Important that it's pH neutral here, so if you're washing outside, if you're washing in the sun, which I always don't recommend to wash in direct sunlight, this is going to help minimize all of those water spots. So a great overall product here. Of course, in a 16 ounce here, you're typically going to put 1 to 2 ounces in your bucket, 1 to 2 ounces in your foam cannon. So definitely a good starter and a great little trial here to go with. Next, we move on to Adam's all-in-one wheel and tire cleaner. Now, they actually have a few different options when it comes to their dedicated tire cleaners and dedicated wheel cleaners. This actually utilizes the pH scale. So this is a heavy alkaline-based wheel cleaner. Now, I know for a lot of you that aren't here on this detailing channel that you know everything about detailing, this is quite a strong product. So I would be slightly cautious of this. Now, it's not to say that this is not a safe product. This can work on all sorts of different wheel and tire options as well, but do be cautious of this because you have that alkalinity in here. This is going to be a deep cleaner, so this is amazing at having if you haven't been maintaining your car all that frequently. It's one of the best tire cleaners out there in all honesty, and actually better than their regular tire and rubber cleaner, but I do prefer their regular wheel cleaner as most of those are pH neutral. They have those chemicals inside of there, which I'm sure you've seen on Instagram. Spray it on the wheel, turns all that brake dust bright purple, bleeds it off the surface, whereas this is using heavy alkalinity. Next, we move on to Adam's Tire Shine here. Now, this is something, what you're gonna wanna do is actually pair it with a foam block that comes in here. You're gonna spray it onto there after you've gone through, used your wheel and tire cleaner here, and massage it into the rubber of your tires. I absolutely hate having dry, brown, disgusting looking tires, so this is a great option for it. Now they do have a few different tire shines out there. Their vinyl, rubber, and trim is gonna be a little bit less shiny overall. This is somewhere in the middle, and they also have their graphene tire shine as well. My recommendation with this is I would typically, just for my preferences, dilute this 1-to-1 with just normal tap water, or even better, using distilled water in here to get it a little bit less shiny. The other thing you can do with this after you apply it, you can actually knock it down with a microfiber towel. That's going to take some of that shine down, but this is a no sling tire shine. It's also got some silica inside of there, which is going to help it last a little bit longer than traditional just water-based tire dressings. Next over here, we've got Adams Detail Spray. Now this is a product I'm sure you might have tried. If you haven't, this is a phenomenal product. So Adams Detail Spray is kind of, just think about it as a quick cleanup for small little areas. So if you get bird bombs on your car, if you need to wipe up some fingerprints, or if you want to use this as a drying aid after you've used your car shampoo, washed the vehicle, rinsed it down, you can actually pair this with a drying towel. It'll leave a great finish behind. It has some gloss enhancers in it. This also has some nice polymers in it, so it will pick up a little bit of dirt here and there, but you're not going to be washing your full car with this, right? This is just something to pick up very light dust, very light fingerprints, but this is always a great product just to leave in the trunk of your car for those kind of emergency situations. Similar to Adams Detail Spray, their Total Interior Cleaner is a great cleaner to just leave in the trunk of your vehicle for those quick cleanups. Now, this is actually quite a versatile product, so you can use this on leather, you can use this on door cards, dashboards, you can also use this on touchscreens, which is great. So it's going to leave a streak-free finish, as of course with mostly all of Adams products here, they all smell great, except for this one, doesn't really smell that great. This is going to leave your interior looking fresh. It's also going to leave a little bit behind. So it's got some UV inhibitors in here, so great to use on dash, great to use on leather. I wouldn't think of this as like a super deep cleaner. This is more one of those products where I would spray it on a towel, maybe mist it down on your seat, wipe it up with a nice microfiber towel. But this is also one, if you do agitate it or use a interior scrub brush on it, it will froth up and it's going to get in there and clean out the dirt and grime. But a great versatile product overall here. So moving on from our chemicals now, let's get into some of the accessories. Now, of course, you would pair this with your pH neutral car shampoo. This is their microfiber wash mitt. So as I pop this open, this is actually a very high quality wash mitt here. So a couple of things, this is actually a mitt. I personally prefer a wash pad, but I understand that there are quite a few people who like things like this because you can just leave it on your hand here. Of course, being one-handed, a little hard for me to do, but it actually has a great overall surface and feels very nice and soft. So of course, you're going to pair this with your bucket as well to wash your vehicle very safely and gently. So very high quality product here, and a heck of a lot better than using a cheap sponge that's been sitting in a bucket. It's got a lot of dirt and grime over it. This is a huge upgrade for, I'm sure, a lot of you. Next, we move on here to Adams Polish's Great White Drying Towel. Now this is actually a waffle weave towel, which I know for a lot of you that might not mean a lot, but essentially in the actual pile of the towel, you have these nice little waffles. This is actually great for helping pick up dirt and not keeping it on the surface of the towel. Now, there's a couple great things with this towel. Number one, the size. This is a 24 by 35 or 36. Can't remember, I'll put it here on screen, but a great overall size towel. And the reason I say that is instead of using a beach towel that you've had at the beach, have a lot of sand in it, you can have a nice clean towel like this, and then importantly, fold it up. So pairing this with something like your Adams Detail Spray after a wash, this is going to help you pick up water. All of the polymers and the detail spray is going to help you pick that water up, and it's great to have multiple sides here. I do really like that this is white here. It's got the Adams branding on it, which is really nice, and some great edges. So very high quality microfiber drying towel here. That's pretty good. Now I'll be totally honest with you, this is not going to be an absolutely crazy absorbent towel, being that it is a waffle weave, but overall it's going to be probably fine for those crossover size SUVs, a sedan. When you get up into big trucks, 3-row SUVs, you're probably going to struggle to dry an entire car with a single towel, but overall a very high quality towel. And again, just like the wash mitt, probably a lot higher quality than you already have at home. Moving on now to Adam's wheel brush. Now this is something you're going to be using on the face of your wheels. I don't necessarily recommend, if you're cleaning up your wheels and tires, to use the same brushes that you're using on your tires and wheels, but this is really meant for your wheel faces. So this is quite actually an expensive brush. I think this retails on their website for about 20 bucks. So you can see that's taking up a huge amount of that $49.99 for this entire detailing kit here. Now the rubberized edge on here, super nice to have, especially if you're working on very shiny black wheels, something like that. You're not going to be hitting this into the wheel, causing scuffs as well as causing scratches. And I know what you're probably thinking here, the bristles on here do look quite firm. The great thing about these, they are quite long, so they'll get some nice reach into side there, but they actually have frayed these on the edges so that they're a lot softer and can be a lot more gentle, especially when paired with their wheel and tire cleaner here. So a great overall value, I think, for that particular setup. Now, of course, their tire block applicator here. So this is just a very simple sponge, and I've actually been using these for years. This is all I use to apply tire dressings, whether I'm using Adams, some other companies out there. There's a couple great things about this. Number one, it's very inexpensive. These retail at $2. Typically what I actually do is take a blade and actually cut this in half to make them a little bit smaller. But if you've got big chunky tires, it's going to be great for covering a lot of that tire very, very quickly. The other nice thing is these are open cell foam, meaning that once it does get kind of gummed up, dirty with all of your tire shine, as well as some of the residue coming off of your tires, you can rinse this out. So you can take it, clean it, boot, squeeze it out, and air dry this, and it's going to be fresh, clean, and ready to go for the next time. Now, our 11th and 12th in our accessory bundle actually comes down to the bucket and lid. Now, if you are purchasing the bucket on Adam's website, you're going to just get the normal traditional bucket. And this brings up something that I don't necessarily love with how they've done this kit. And that is that all of the branding on here is basically on the actual bucket. What I wish they would have done is had like a cardboard sleeve that went on here, so you could take that off and just have the Adams logo. I'm not a super big fan of that, but it is nice because it's an overall high quality bucket. Now this lid is also counting as one of your accessories here. So this is technically your 12th accessory that comes with this. And I gotta say, the lid is totally fine. They actually sell Gamma Seal lids, which are quite a bit nicer. So it's got this ring that goes on here and it spins on. Those are very, very expensive, but this is also great. Instead of just leaving this in your garage collecting dust and having all of, bugs and things get in here, you can close this up, keep your wash mitts in here, keep your drying towels so they stay nice, fresh, and clean. High quality buckets are always great to have when washing your car. I typically recommend you have 3 if you're being crazy like myself, using the 2 bucket or 3 bucket method. 1 for wheels, 1 for washing, and 1 for rinsing. So very useful to have. Again, I do think it's a little bit of a shame these are technically combined here and not just one accessory. The last accessory we have here, an air freshener. Now this smells exactly like their detail spray. So if you love that, you're just gonna wanna hang it on your ear and walk around all day. Just kidding. So this can be on the back of your mirror. You can throw it in your trunk if you don't want as strong of a scent. Pretty nice to have here. I don't think it's a super valuable accessory, but just a really nice to have. So overall, guys, I think the value here is pretty darn nice, right? For 49 bucks, I think this is a great little starter kit. And that's exactly what they're going for here, right? And it's a good introduction into the brand with some of their core products here. Again, Adam's Car Shampoo, I think for a lot of you out there that like washing your car at home, this is going to be a great buy. And it's pretty darn economical, right? This is like 10 bucks for a 16-ounce bottle. It's obviously more economical if you purchase it in a gallon, but I really like how they've really thought through this of, washing the exterior of your car. You also have a wheel and tire cleaner. They give you the wheel brush. They also give you tire shine and an applicator. You have detail spray to pick up anything. And you also have your interior cleaner that you can just quickly go through, hit your interior. And they've kind of hit all of the main bases here. So for me, a great exceptional value here. If you're at Costco next time, ready to spend more money than you actually went into, yeah, I would definitely recommend picking one of these buckets up. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in another one soon. Bye-bye.